Did you like Little Sisters? If yes, do me a favor and get that brain checked out as soon as possible, but fear not, because you wouldn't even come close to our protagonist, Itsuki, who is literally feeling for them more than you. This is one of my favorite animes of 2017. It has the best narrative styles I have seen in an anime, given that it's originally a light novel series. This review is spoiler free, so feel free to watch even if you have not heard of the series, but it would hurt for people who have never watched this anime already. So if you have the time, I highly recommend you give this one a go. From the jump, I want to preface on how the story may not seem non-linear as sometimes, but I assure you that this anime actually has an excellent narrative. The overall plot revolves around Itsuki, an aspiring light novel author making his way through the light novel industry. Whilst every industry has its problems and hardships, this one is indifferent. It comes in the form of deadlines and bickering with the editors. The story portrays elements of friendship, comedy for the most part, but I would pay more attention to the background. When you dig further through the silly light-hearted scenes that anime portrays, you can see that the plot portrays a depressed young man who fights against reality. These circumstances make him dive into his own form of escapism, being it fetishizing little sisters to an uncomfortable degrees, or it might be retreating to his own perverted light novel series. Another dilemma that our main character faces is the idea that his peers have earned more success than he has yet to earn, given that he dropped out of college to pursue being an author full-time. We can see that in full effect because one of his peer author friends is a renowned artist while the other has an anime in the work. And we see that the coping mechanism that Itsuki uses is sort of brushing it off and acting like it doesn't matter. As the anime goes on, you come to see that Itsuki making peace with himself, and this type of narrative would be enjoyable for literally anyone that could grasp or understand what Itsuki was going through at that time. Mind you, animes that come in this genre usually lack in some type of way, being it in the narrative aspect or the god of fan service that I try and sneak up. We'll come to that later on the video. I think this anime lacks more darker themes since the narrative only lies in the background. But mind you, the anime portrays it in an obvious manner, and for an attentive audience, it's very easy to piece things together and understand the whole message of the anime. When we look at the art, more so the animation, given the Silver Link art quality, I thought this anime would be able to use art to immerse us in its darker themes. And we can see that in some parts, as the art is often used to show Itsuki's room clearly and everything outside as a foggy and generic setting. Or maybe they are too lazy to draw backgrounds, I don't know. Another point I would like to emphasize on is that the fan service is not good. Most of the fan service comes from the main girl, Nayuta. Yeah, she's the main girl. Cry about it, pussy. It was rather forced with the I can't concentrate on writing if I'm not naked type of fan service. Yeah, it was bad. I would say I'm not a personal fan of the fan service. Another point that I want to point out is the anime lacks a bunch in this aspect, being it the sound quality and lack of soundtrack. Mind you, I have enjoyed the heck out of the opening. Still, I bang it to this day. But when we look at the sound engineering throughout the series, very much lacks. I don't know why the director chose it to be like that, but it might be to reflect on the real world that is to be portrayed with the anime aesthetic, or it might be the lack of budget, I don't know, that forced the studio to make the background as bland as possible. But I want to point out that the usage of real board games made a nice touch and added a nice background when the shelves are shown. Overall, it had a great soundtrack, giving it being only the opening, but it could have been more integrated into the episodes of the anime, given the beach episode, for example, when emotional scenes are happening. Overall, it was mediocre, the soundtracks, but for the opening alone, I would give it an A. Earlier on the video, I mentioned that how this anime has a narrative of a depressed young man, but I didn't give you the full picture of the story because it also tells a narrative of multiple depressed people that hide their flaws from each other beneath the mask. Each one put on this supposed mask to hide their deeply disturbed character that came about from envy or trauma. And we see each character version of a coping mechanism. Take for example Haruto, a very disciplined author who takes a more of a traditional way of writing compared to his peers, Itsuki and Nayuta. His mental state portrayed by envy towards Nayuta, a very renowned and celebrated author, leaves him with a nagging feeling of insecurity and not having enough talent to catch up to them. Another character we need to look at is Shirakawa Miyako, a college student and was Itsuki's classmate when he was attending at the school. She is your typical optimistic and always cheerful type of girl. She wants everyone to be up with their emotions, but she also struggles with her own troubles. Although being happy for her friends that are now world-renowned artists, there's this deep envy rather than sadness in her that makes her reflect on how she wanna do things in her life, what she wanna become in life, and we see her battle with this idea throughout the series in her own version of self-discovery. And now I'm done with the rather short analysis segment. What is my personal opinion on this series? Mind you, I would recommend that you take my opinion with a grain of salt. As I say yet again, this is my opinion, and feel free to give opinions down in comments below. I thought this was a phenomenal series. I was very hesitant at first being recommended this given the premise and all, and God, this first scene in episode 1 was about to make me crash out. Literally. But I was fairly surprised. It was a very well laid out story with a very interesting ideas. Also, I really liked the episodes where the characters are playing board games. It showed their flaws by the decisions, rather dumb decisions they are made. Another aspect I really liked is the dialogue that seamlessly flows between the characters that can be pretty funny at times. And to the popular comment, should you watch this subbed or dubbed, I would say both the sub and dub are very good. Another point on why the dialogue stands out for me, given that this is a light novel series which are renowned for their impressive wordplay and different ideologies and social commentary. Notably, you might know the Monogatari series or my teen romantic comedy. Also, I recommend you that you treat this anime as totally different work from the likes of Shirabako or any other anime that drives deep into the Japanese entertainment industry. So yeah, this anime has some ups and downs, and it definitely an acquired taste. I would say you give this 3 episodes and see if you like it or not. Please watch it, please, I'm begging. And also, I very much believe in the saying that there is something for anybody in the anime medium. But if you are more of an edgy type of guy, I would say this anime is not for you. I was like, it's definitely for you, you weirdo little sister loving weeaboo. Go watch Oreimo if you like fucking retard. So yeah, this is my segment for today. Sort of an anime rant, if you will. I try to mix up different genres a bit in my videos. Hope you like that. And feel free to comment any series you want me to cover in the next video. Sayonara, niggers.